Hey guys, how's it going? It's K-Dog's Kennel coming at you on a Tuesday afternoon with my picks for Week 15 of the NFL season. Working morning shifts all week, so I figured the best time would be to get this this video uploaded before the missus gets home here in about 45 minutes or so. So a lot of things have changed with the playoff picture. Updated standings for the playoff picture are down below. We'll talk about that here in just a bit. No more bye weeks. Is now all the byes are done. We got 16 games. So let's jump right in here. Before I do that, my friends, I want to give a monumental shout out to the Boston Sports Report. If you guys do not follow them, please do so. You'll either see their comment, their comment or whatnot in the chat at some point. Boston Sports Report, amazing channel. Boston Sports Report not only does NFL picks weekly like I do, they also do NHL picks, NBA picks, things of that nature. A lot of amazing stuff on their content. So like I said, Boston Sports Report, love you guys over there. Thank you guys for all of your support on the channel. I appreciate you guys very, very much. So that being said, after you guys give those a follow, the Boston Sports Report a follow, come back here and we'll talk about some picks. So let's kick this thing off with a juicy Thursday night football matchup. The 9-4 Kansas City Chiefs taking on the 8-5 LA Chargers. I have the Chiefs going over in this game for mainly one reason. The first time these two met, it was the Chargers that got the win at Kansas City. I think the Chiefs rather are going to have that on their mind. It's going to weigh on their minds, and I think they're going to have redemption in mind. Chiefs are riding high right now. Their defense is starting to get a little bit stiffer. They're playing a lot better overall. Nothing against LA. I think LA is going to be a playoff team. The Chiefs and the Chargers are both going to get in there. But like I said, I think revenge is going to be on the mind of Kansas City. That's why I've got Kansas City in the Thursday night game. Very close game. I think that game's going to go. But I got Kansas City. Big AFC West division win there. Then we move on to Saturday with the Christmas holiday approaching. We have games on Saturday for the next 2 weeks. First matchup on Saturday, the 6-7 Las Vegas Raiders taking on the 7-6 Cleveland Browns. Browns are beat up or whatnot, but they still have a defense. That's why I'm taking them. I'm taking the Browns over the Raiders on Saturday. The Browns are in the hunt. They're not in the playoff hunt per se, but they are very much in the hunt at 7-6. There's a lot of teams at 7-6 in the AFC that are in the hunt. On the outside looking in, that could very easily be in that bubble per se here in the next couple weeks. I think the Browns, the Raiders are just kind of a mess, very lethargic. They look like absolute crap against Kansas City. And I think, Cleveland has a physical defense like Kansas City does. And I just think that defense is going to have their way with the Browns. I don't think it's going to be as big of a blowout, but I do think the Browns are going to take the win there. Last matchup on Saturday, the 9-4 New England Patriots taking on the 7-6 Baltimore Colts. I like the Colts, but not as much as I like the Patriots. That's why I have the Patriots going over in this game because of the fact that, the Patriots are playing lights out football right now. There was a time the Patriots, I think, were 2-4, and like everybody wrote off New England, myself included, because I'm like, New England's not the team it once was, but Mac Jones has done an amazing job, being the captain of that ship per se, along with Coach Belichick, and the Colts are up and down. Like they're hot one week, they're not one week. They're hot, they're not. This late in the season, you can't be doing that kind of thing. You gotta, bring your A game every single week, and that's exactly what New England's done. I've got New England going over on Baltimore. On Indianapolis. Used to be Baltimore, but not no more. Moving on to Sunday, we have the 9-4 Dallas Cowboys taking on the 4-9 New York Football Giants. I've got the Cowboys winning this game. The Cowboys, 3 of their last 4 games are against the NFC East. The NFC East, in my opinion, is a very soft division, and I think it's Dallas's division to lose. Right now, Dallas sits at 3. No, Dallas is currently sitting at the 4 seed. I don't see them going higher based on who is above them. Which we'll talk about the playoff seeding here in just a minute. But I do have the Dallas Cowboys going over on the Giants. Next up, the Snooze Bowl. The 2-11 Houston Texans taking on the 2-11 Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm not going to mince words about this. I got the Texans basically on a coin flip. Both of these teams are ass. Both of these teams are garbage. I'm actually doing a playthrough, a team rebuild on Madden 22 on this channel with the Houston Texans, just because I want to take a team and just mold them into contenders. But we'll see how that plays out. But anyway, not going to waste much time on it. Texans, I'm literally a coin flip. If Jacksonville wins, it wouldn't surprise me, but Houston won the first matchup. So next up, we have the 9-4 Tennessee Titans taking on the 6-1 Pittsburgh Steelers. I got the Titans going over in this game. Derrick Henry eventually will be back. He's done as far as fantasy season goes, but there is a chance Derrick Henry could potentially be in the come back for the playoffs. Like I said, not sure how that is going to play out. I don't know why I'm on my other monitor. My my seating went away. But I think the Titans are in the playoff hunt. They might be maybe 5 or whatnot. I don't know. Like I said, I have no idea. It literally was on my other monitor. Now it is not there. So anyway, but I do have the Titans going over the Steelers. This could be Big Ben's last hurrah in Pittsburgh. Wouldn't surprise me. Big Ben's been there his whole career. But the Steelers, very anemic. They have no identity this year. They're not going to be anywhere near the playoffs. I don't even know. They're not even really in the hunt. Mathematically they are, but logistically not really. Next up, the 3-10 New York Jets taking on the 6-7 Miami Dolphins. I got the Dolphins going over in this game. The Jets, every time I pick against them, they find a way to win, it seems. Kind of like the Atlanta Falcons, which we'll talk about them here in a little bit. But I just think the Dolphins are the better football team. That's just the long and short of it. I got Miami going over the Jets. Next up, 6-7 Washington football team taking on the 6-7 Philadelphia Eagles. The Washington football team currently occupy the 7 seed. If they lose, which I have the Eagles going over in this game, I do. The Washington will fall out. Philadelphia will go in that 7 seed. Obviously based on head to head, but also the Eagles would go to 7-7, whereas the Washington would go to 6-8. I don't know. My gut's telling me to pick Philadelphia. I don't know why. I know a lot of people are taking Washington, and I get it. Washington has a better defense, but I don't know. Maybe because the Eagles are at home. I don't know. I know I use it a lot, but it is what it is. Going with Miami or with Philadelphia rather. Next up, the 10-3 Arizona Cardinals. Thanks, LA. Talk about why I'm thanking LA in a little bit. Taking on the 1-11-1 Detroit Lions. The Lions are catching the Cardinals at just the wrong time. Not that I would give the Lions any chance of winning this football game. The Cardinals got beat Monday night. They dropped out of the number 1 seed. They fell all the way down to 3 with the loss. The Cardinals are going to be pissed off, and unfortunately, the Lions are going to be their punching bag. Like I said, I got Arizona all freaking day in this game. I don't even have to think about it. The Cardinals are going to steamroll the Lions. Next up, the 5-8 Carolina Panthers taking on the 7-6 Buffalo Bills. Got the Bills going over because the Bills need this win, guys. The Bills need this win mainly for legitimacy. The Bills at one point in time were my favorite to win the AFC and represent the AFC in Super Bowl 56. That has gone by the wayside. Buffalo is going to get into the playoffs. I don't have any doubts on that. It's how far Buffalo will get that I question. Josh Allen injured, suffered a sprained foot. He's not listed as out, but he is listed as day-to-day. He was in a walking boot. Actually, I think I saw Boston Sports Report had that on their YouTube channel. It was a picture of Josh Allen walking in a boot. If Josh Allen misses time, the Panthers are just not a good enough team. I said from the beginning, the Panthers were the most vanilla 3-0 team I've ever seen back when they were 3-0. Obviously, Sam Darnold was not the answer. Cam Newton is certainly not proving to be the answer in his return to Carolina. I've got Buffalo winning this game with or without Josh Allen. The Bills need this game, again, just for legitimacy. The Bills, they got beat by Tampa Bay. They made a game of it at the end, but they fell behind too early. Can't do that against a team like Tampa Bay. Next up, 7-6 Cincinnati Bengals taking on the 7-6 Denver Broncos. The Broncos, sure everybody knows by now, when I did my picks video last week, this had not been a thing. Former Broncos wide receiver Demaryius Thomas found dead in his home. Early reports, as of this recording, there is no official cause of death for Demaryius Thomas. All it is known is that he died. Apparently had some sort of a medical issue, is all they're calling it right now. That hit hard. Demaryius, I think he was only like 33, 35, something like that. Way too young to die. I'm going to be 40 here in March. And I think about, this young kid who, I don't think he played football. I know he played with the Broncos like 8, 9, 10 years, something like that. Hats off to the Lions. The opening play in the Denver-Detroit game, the Broncos lined up with 10 players on offense instead of 11 to honor Demaryius Thomas. Obviously getting a delay of game penalty, which the Lions are like, man, we're not taking the penalty because, the Broncos want to honor one of their former teammates. So kudos to Detroit. Very class act for that. Also a class act for Denver to honor their fallen former teammate. Again, a coin flip. I'm going with Cincinnati, mainly because I want to see Cincinnati get into the playoffs. Cincinnati has not been to the playoffs in quite some time. And right now I think they're on the outside looking in. I think last week they were in the playoff bubble. They are out right now. But again, they're one of those 7-6 teams. There's like 5 or 6 of them that are on the cusp. They're on the outside looking in. Depending on how they play these next couple weeks, it's going to really shuffle the AFC quite a bit. Not NFC, like I said, we'll talk about here in just a minute at the end of the video where the seedings are. But NFC got shaken up a lot by Arizona's loss, and we'll talk about that. Like I said here in a bit. I got the Bengals going over the Broncos. Next up, 6-7 Atlanta Falcons taking on the 7-6 San Francisco 49ers. The Niners are in the mix. I believe they are the 6th seed as of right now. Big win over Cincinnati in overtime. I got the 49ers winning. Watch the Falcons win. You know why? Because every time I go against Atlanta, Atlanta wins. What's your problem, Atlanta? What do you have against me? Don't appreciate it. Anyway, Niners over the Falcons. 5-8 Seattle Seahawks taking on the 9-4 LA Rams. I think the Rams are playing rejuvenated football. Breaking news came across earlier today, as I have on my other screen. Wide receiver Odell Beckham has been placed on the COVID-19 reserve list. The Rams won Monday night without Jalen Ramsey, without Tyler Higbee. That was a statement win for the LA Rams. I was hoping they would win. The Cardinals have fallen out of the number 1 seed, as I mentioned before. They are now the 3 seed. Tampa Bay is now moved up to 2. The Packers have moved up to the number 1 seed. All of them at 10-3. I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, K-Dog, I don't understand why. What does Green Bay get the nod? Again, we'll talk about that here in a bit. But I do have the Rams over the Seahawks. This is a lost season for Seattle. Next up, the 10-3 Green Bay Packers taking on the 8-5 Baltimore Ravens. I've got the Packers going over. The Packers are, as I just mentioned, the number 1 seed in the NFC. Everything that Green Bay wants is in front of them. A win clinches the NFC North. That's step 1. Clinching that number 1 seed would be the logistic number 2 step. Packers clinched the number 1 seed last year. Look what happened. They got beat by Tampa Bay. Honestly, of all of the teams in the NFC playoff picture, the Buccaneers are the team I'm concerned about the most. I'm worried to death whether Tampa Bay gets the number 1 seed or Green Bay. It's going to be Tampa and Green Bay in the NFC title game, and it scares the shit out of me that Tampa Bay is not going to beat them again. It'd be 3 straight years the Packers go to the NFC title game just to lose it. Hoping to God that doesn't happen. But we'll see. Lamar Jackson, Ravens quarterback, injured, sprained ankle, looking to be a good-to-go call. According to Coach Harbaugh, he's not expecting Lamar Jackson to miss any time. We'll see how that goes. But this is the toughest game on Green Bay's schedule that is left. I think if Green Bay can get past Baltimore, the Packers will win out. They have another game against Detroit, another game against Minnesota. And I believe after this one, they're home against the Browns. They're either home against the Browns this next week or in week 17. But I know they have the Browns coming up, and then they have the Vikings and the Lions. I know they closed the season against the Lions. They got the Packers over the Ravens. Next up, 6-7, New Orleans Saints taking on the 10-3 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I have the Buccaneers winning this game. The Buccaneers, with a win, will clinch the NFC South. There's really no team that comes close to threatening Tampa Bay for the division title. It's theirs to lose. Like I said, I think it's going to happen as early as this week. A win, as I said, will clinch the division title for Tampa Bay. Give me Tampa Bay all day long. I know the Saints are 3-0 since Tom Brady joined the Buccaneers, but the Buccaneers are playing at that scary elite level. They played that last season around this time. They got hot at the right time, and they ended up winning the Super Bowl last year. Next up, and that was the Sunday night game. Monday night game, the 6-7 Minnesota, almost said Miami Vikings, Minnesota Vikings taking on the absolutely atrocious 4-9 Chicago Bears. I initially wrote Chicago, but I quickly changed it. I got the Vikings winning this game. If the Packers lose and the Vikings lose, Green Bay will still clinch the NFC North title. But I do have the Vikings winning. Let's talk about now, before we do the wrap up. I am literally pulling this up on my phone because it's not on my screen anymore. So it's in the item description if you guys kind of want to follow along. So in the AFC, we have the Patriots as the 1 seed, the Titans as the 2 seed, the Chiefs as the 3 seed, the Ravens at the 4 seed, the Chargers at the 5 seed, the Colts at number 6, and Buffalo this is one of those scenarios. Buffalo and Indianapolis are both 7-6. I'm not sure. Buffalo and Indy play this year? I don't remember. But the Colts are ahead, even though they have the same record. It's either, if it's not head-to-head, it's the conference record. I've talked about that in videos past, where teams with identical records, the seeding is based upon head-to-head, and if they haven't played, it goes by the record, the conference record. And if for whatever reason they tie with conference record, I believe it's based on strength of schedule. That's the third and final deciding factor with that. In the AFC hunt, again, I normally don't use my phone for this, but like I said, we have the Browns, Bengals, Broncos, and Steelers. Steelers are actually in it at 6-1. The Browns, Broncos, and Browns, Bengals, Broncos, try saying all this 3 times fast, are all 7-6. So they're all very much in the hunt. Over in the NFC, we have the Packers now as the number 1 seed. We have the Buccaneers as the 2 seed and the Cardinals as the 3 seed. Now, again, before anybody comments, K-Dog, they're all 10-3. Where's the breakdown, if you will? I've talked about this before. Arizona, Green Bay, they've played. Arizona lost. So Green Bay right there has the head-to-head matchup over Arizona. That's why they've leapfrogged Arizona due to the head-to-head. Now, why did Arizona fall from 1 to 3? Tampa Bay and Arizona have never met this season. I would love to see them meet in the playoffs. I think it'd be a fantastic football game. But the Buccaneers leapfrog the Cardinals based on conference record. The Buccaneers have a better conference record than Arizona. That's why Tampa is now leapfrogged Arizona. So we have Green Bay at 1, Tampa Bay at 2, Arizona at 3. Of those 3 teams, Arizona's schedule is the toughest. Tampa Bay's is the easiest. It's very likely that Tampa Bay could overtake Green Bay to take that number 1 seed. We'll see how it plays out. Green Bay controls their own destiny. Green Bay wins out, they have the number 1 seed. Aaron Rodgers still dealing with the broken toe. Seems to be getting worse every game. That's a concern. I'd rather have Aaron Rodgers healthy than have that top seed. Because it ain't going to matter. If they run into Tampa Bay, they're going to be fucked either way. It's just my opinion. Dallas at 9-4 as the 4 seed. The Rams as the 5 seed. San Francisco as the 6 seed. And I talked about earlier, Washington occupies the 7 seed. In the hunt, though, we have the Vikings, Eagles, Falcons, and Saints all at 6-7. So a lot of stuff. Nobody. We are going into week 15. nobody has clinched a playoff spot. Arizona beats Detroit. They have a spot locked up. Seedings won't be probably clinched until bare minimum week 17, if not 18. But to recap, I have the Chiefs over the Chargers, the Browns over the Raiders, the Patriots over the Colts, Cowboys over the Giants, Texans over the Jaguars, Titans over the Steelers, Dolphins over the Jets, Eagles over the Washington football team, Cardinals over the Lions, Bills over the Panthers, Bengals over the Broncos, 49ers over the Falcons, Rams over the Seahawks, Packers over the Ravens, Buccaneers over the Saints, and the Vikings over the Bears. Sorry, this was a little bit of a longer video. 16 games plus discussing the playoffs. That's going to be the formula going forward. As I mentioned at the start of the video, no more bye weeks. They are all done. So every week for the next 4 weeks, we will have 16 games to discuss. So let me know in the comments what you guys think. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Picked up a couple new subscribers. We're up to 28 subs. So thank you guys so much. You have no idea how much that means to me. I appreciate it. I love each and every one of you. And I will catch you guys in my next gaming video. And I'll be back in front of this beautiful camera next week for week 16. So I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care, guys.